Imagine waking up to silence so pure it feels like the planet is breathing with you. No cars, no horns, just wind sliding through trees and sunlight dripping across wooden beams built entirely from fallen timber. Now imagine knowing that every moment you spend there, every breath, every meal, every step, is helping the earth heal. Sounds impossible, right? But it's not. Because around the world a quiet revolution is happening. It's not about luxury, it's not about escapism, it's about reconnection. These are the eco-lodges rewriting the rules of travel, places built not to take from the planet, but to give back. And as I discovered on this journey, these lodges are more than destinations, they're messages from the earth itself. So before you book your next flight, before you scroll through another luxury resort ad, you need to hear the story of the places that might just change how we travel, forever. Part 1, the promise of a new kind of travel. It started with a question I couldn't shake. Can travel, the very thing that harms the planet most, become the thing that saves it? I began searching for lodges not claiming sustainability, but living it. No greenwashed buzzwords, no token recycling bins, real places where architecture, nature, and community merge. That search led me to 10 names whispered among travelers like secrets, places where people go not just to stay, but to transform. And I didn't know it yet, but the first stop would set the tone for everything that followed. In the heart of Costa Rica, hidden between volcanoes and rivers, stands Lapa Rios Lodge. It doesn't just overlook the rainforest, it is the rainforest. Every structure is built from reclaimed wood, the water system filters naturally through plants, the electricity hums softly from solar power. But what hit me wasn't the sustainability, it was the silence. You can actually hear the earth here, and when night falls, the stars drown out every artificial light. As I lay in bed under a mosquito net listening to monkeys in the distance, I realized this wasn't an escape from the modern world, it was honestly a confrontation with what we've lost. And I wondered, if the future of travel feels this raw, this connected, are we really ready for it? Part 3. The Floating Mirage. The next lodge was nothing like the jungle. Welcome to the Four Rivers Floating Lodge in Cambodia, a collection of floating tents drifting on the Tatai River, each anchored gently in place, powered by solar energy and surrounded by rainforest. When you step outside in the morning, the river mist wraps around you like a living thing. But what's haunting is the contrast. While plastic bottles float downstream from distant cities, these floating rooms remain pristine. The owner told me, we built it here not to dominate the water but to remind people that they're part of it. And it worked. Because as I kayaked at dawn through the fog, I felt it, that fragile balance between human comfort and nature's patience. One wrong choice, and it disappears. You've seen deserts before, but never like this, built by local Bedouins using ancient materials, goat hair, stone, and sand. The camp disappears into the landscape. At night, the stars look close enough to touch. But what they don't show you in the brochures is how alive the desert really is. The sand moves, the temperature shifts, the silence roars. And every grain of that silence tells a story, about resilience, about balance, about the people who lived here long before we called it ecotourism. As I sat by the campfire, one Bedouin guide said, "The desert gives, but only if you listen first." Those words followed me everywhere after that. Imagine, if you will, futuristic white domes scattered across a mountain range blending into the snow like sleeping creatures. Each pod runs entirely on renewable energy. Heat comes from pellet stoves and water is drawn from the mountain's own veins. But, this isn't just luxury in disguise, it's rebellion. Because every guest who comes here hikes instead of drives. They carry their own waste back down. They really earn their view. And as the wind howled across the Alps, I realized something simple but powerful. When you work for your comfort, you appreciate it more. Maybe that's what the planet's been trying to teach us all along. Part 6, the African reclamation. At first glance, it's paradise. Glass walls, infinity pools, designed straight out of a dream. But look closer, and you'll see something radical. Every beam of wood was harvested sustainably, every single drop of water recycled, and every employee, from chef to guide, comes from the surrounding communities. This place doesn't exploit nature, it celebrates it. But, the moment that shook me most wasn't luxury or landscape. It was watching elephants pass calmly beside the solar panels like they belonged there. Because honestly, they did. And I couldn't help thinking, maybe this is what the future looks like. Humans and wildlife sharing the same horizon again. You can't drive here, you can't even fly directly. You arrive by seaplane, landing on turquoise water so clear it looks like glass. Every structure on the island is built from bamboo and recycled teak. The resort funds coral restoration, marine patrols, and reef cleanups. But there's a catch. Visitors are capped. If you want excess, you can't stay. And as you snorkel above the corals they're slowly bringing back to life, you realize, luxury doesn't mean more. Sometimes, it means enough, because if paradise can regenerate, maybe we still have a chance too. A cluster of glass cabins balanced on cliffs facing the Arctic Sea, every panel designed to minimize heat loss, every structure powered by the midnight sun. Inside, it's silent. Outside, the waves crash against the rocks like a heartbeat. And, as the northern lights flicker above, you can't help but feel small, but not insignificant. The architect once said, "If we can build beauty without destroying beauty, we've already changed everything." Standing there, wrapped in cold light, I believed him. Going back to city life felt louder, heavier. Street lights looked harsh, plastic felt wrong in my hands. Because once you've seen what harmony looks like, what it sounds like, it's impossible to unhear it. These eco-lodges aren't just escapes, they're blueprints, whispers of what the world could be if we decided to live differently. So what did I learn chasing the world's most sustainable stays? That the future of travel isn't about flying farther or spending more, it's about going deeper. It's not about guilt, it's about gratitude, not about isolation, but reconnection. Because these eco-lodges prove one thing beyond doubt. Travel doesn't have to cost the earth, it can protect it. If you could stay anywhere on earth and leave it better than you found it, would you? Because maybe the next time we pack a bag, we're not just travelers anymore, we're caretakers. And the journey has only just